IKEA saves $1 billion every single year just on shipping. Not from better trucks, not from smarter routes. They save it because you do the work, you carry the box, you load the car, you drag it upstairs, you spend 2 hours with an Allen key on a Sunday afternoon. And that entire system, every flat box, every numbered bag of screws, every cryptic diagram was engineered in 1956 by one man who realized the customer could become the final link in the supply chain without ever knowing it. By the end of this video, you will never look at a flat pack box the same way again. Here is what most people believe. IKEA sells furniture in flat boxes because it is cheaper and simpler. That is the official story, and IKEA repeats it constantly. Smaller boxes mean lower shipping costs, which means lower prices for you. And that part is actually true. But it is only half the picture. The other half is a deliberate transfer of costs and labor from IKEA onto the consumer, a shift so complete and so normalized that most people don't even notice it is happening. That is what we are going to expose today. Let's go back to 1956. A man named Gillis Lundgren was an early designer at IKEA. He was trying to fit a table called the LVET into a car to transport it, and he couldn't, so he removed the legs. That one moment, a designer taking legs off a table to make it fit, became the foundational logic of a company that now operates 473 stores across 63 countries and generates over $47 billion in annual revenue. One problem, solved practically, became a global business model. Here is exactly how the mechanism works. Traditional furniture is assembled at a factory. Workers build it, it gets loaded onto trucks fully formed, it takes up enormous space, and retailers pay for every cubic inch of that space in warehousing and freight. A fully assembled dresser might occupy 30 cubic feet of truck space. That same dresser, broken down into flat panels and packed into a box, occupies roughly 6 cubic feet. That is an 80% reduction in shipping volume. Multiply that across hundreds of millions of units per year, and you get that $1 billion annual saving in logistics alone. That number comes from supply chain analysis and has been cited in multiple industry reports on IKEA's distribution model. But here is where it gets more interesting. IKEA did not just cut its own costs, it moved costs onto you. Think about what you actually do when you buy IKEA furniture. You drive to a warehouse-sized store, often on the outskirts of a city where rent is cheaper. You find the flat box yourself in the self-serve warehouse area. You load it onto a cart. You pay for it. You put it in your car. You bring it home. You assemble it, often over the course of an hour or more. Every one of those steps used to be done by a paid worker somewhere in the traditional retail chain. Delivery drivers, stock clerks, assembly workers. IKEA did not eliminate those jobs entirely. They outsourced them to you for free. Now, IKEA does have an official response to this. They will tell you about the Billy bookcase, their most iconic product, which costs $69. They will say that price is only possible because of the flat pack system. And they are right. The efficiency is real. But efficiency for whom and at what cost to whom? That is the question worth asking. Harvard Business School professor Dr. Michael Norton identified something he called the IKEA effect. Published in a 2011 study in the Journal of Consumer Psychology, this research found that people place dramatically higher value on products they have assembled themselves. Participants valued their own assembled IKEA products at nearly the same level as expert-built products, even when the quality was objectively lower. In short, IKEA benefits twice. First, you do the labor for free. Second, you love the product more because you built it, so you are less likely to return it and more likely to come back and buy again. Let's talk about what this actually costs you in real time. A 2019 study on furniture assembly times found that the average IKEA item takes between 45 minutes and 3 hours to assemble, depending on complexity. A standard wardrobe like the PAX system averages around 2.5 hours. If you value your time at even the US federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, that 2.5 hours of assembly costs you $18 in personal labor. If you value your time at the average US hourly wage of $22, that same wardrobe costs you an additional $55 you never see on the price tag. Add in transportation, the average American drives 12 miles to an IKEA store, and suddenly that $200 wardrobe has a real cost closer to $280 when you account for your time and travel. So what can you actually do with this information? First, use IKEA's own TaskRabbit integration. IKEA acquired TaskRabbit in 2017 specifically to offer assembly services. Prices start around $36 for small items. It is worth it. Second, compare the true cost. Before you assume IKEA is always cheaper, add your drive time, assembly time, and fuel cost to the ticket price. Sometimes a local furniture store that delivers assembled is the better financial deal. Third, use the IKEA price tag calculator, a third-party tool that helps you factor in hidden costs before you buy. And now here's the final fact, the one that should genuinely bother you. IKEA's flat pack model was so successful at transferring labor costs onto consumers that it is now the default expectation across the entire furniture industry. Wayfair, Amazon Basics, Target's furniture lines, almost all of them ship unassembled. The industry standard that consumers now accept as normal was engineered by one company to protect its own margins, and then every competitor copied it because the consumer already accepted the burden. You didn't choose flat pack furniture. It was chosen for you, normalized over 70 years, and now you do billions of dollars of free labor for the furniture industry every single year without a second thought. If this changed how you see that IKEA box in your hallway, follow this channel. We post the real reason behind everyday things every single day.